Hi, I'm Brittany with Candy Systems, and today we're going to be pressing a satin lanyard, and we're going to be doing it with our backer board method. So to get started today, I brought several satin lanyards, brought some that were already pressed just so you can kind of see the finished product with the end assembly, some Candy Pro spray, a couple sheets of protective paper, scissors, the images we're going to display, and then finally the backer board. The backer board itself, even though it is termed this way in the instructions, all we really did, you can do any kind of cardboard. This is not going to hit your press. This is just simply a way to be able to flip and turn over while pressing, just kind of hold everything in place. Just because satin is just, it's very easy to move, and it's a very flexible item, so just it helps keep everything nice and steady as we do that quick transition. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So as far as backer boards go, you're going to need to trim it to your size. It doesn't have to necessarily be cardboard, just anything that's going to hold a shape and keep everything nice and flat. So to get started, let's get ready to do a pre-press. I'm actually just going to be pressing one lanyard today. You can do several lanyards at one time. That's no problem. You can print out several different pieces for you to make several lanyards at one time. One thing that I do want to note is that the lanyards themselves, they can be done easier if you have a larger press available, but today with our technique and doing the flipping, one of the best things about this is that we're going to be able to do it on a smaller press. So we've actually broke down our artwork, and we're going to be able to use a smaller press and create the same lanyard. So moving over to our press, I'm going to place the sheet of protective paper on the bottom. Don't need my image just yet. And then when I press my lanyard, since I'm going to be pressing just one, I want to make sure that this is going to be, you'll have to visualize it, this is the area right here that's going to be around my neck, so I want to be able to keep it nice and flat and make sure that I'm going to pre-press the sides that are going to be getting the image applied to it. So I'll just leave it a little loop at the end. Add another sheet of protective paper. We're going to pre-press for 10 seconds. And once we have our 10-second pre-press done, let's move our silk lanyard over. And with the silk lanyard itself, this method that we're about to do right now, it's not necessarily limited to just silk lanyards. It's any kind of material. We have silk neckties as well. Any kind of very flexible fabric that we're working with, it's just going to brace them together, and it's just going to be able to make the transition from putting on our image and moving over to our press. It's just going to keep it nice and secure. So you can find other ways to use this method. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of protective paper, and I'm going to sort of cheat a little bit. I'll put a little bit of Candy Pro spray directly on my paper to make my image stick. And now I'm going to lightly coat the images with the Pro spray. Grab my lanyard, make sure that the sides that I pre-pressed are the ones that are going to receive my images. And again, with the press itself and using a smaller size, you want to be able to pick something that either the pattern is going to line up perfectly for you, or maybe it's going to be spaced out, have a white background. And you can get creative with it, just anything that's going to be able to work with you and the press you're going to be using, and just making sure that you create a nice cohesive lanyard. Another thing you want to note with the artwork itself, the reason why we're doing it this way, right now you'll be able to see that the image itself is not going to hit on the actual back part where the neck is going to lie. And this is just going to be a way of staging your artwork, whether you're going to have a white background or a logo. For example, with our Candy, you'll see that it's a nice fluid Candy logo all the way across our silk lanyard. This was easiest done in a large press, where you can just go ahead and lay your lanyard completely flat. So you'll need to either get creative with your artwork or go ahead and line it up and work with the size of your press so that you have your images hitting where you want them. Because as of right now, the area where you would see a full color over the entire length of the lanyard, I'm pressing it so that I'm going to actually leave a blank space, and this is intentional. So my last step It's going to be placing a sheet of protective paper on the top, and then I'm going to grab my other piece of backer board. Now the next step, this is going to be the most important part. This is the technique. This is using the backer board itself with the materials and being able to kind of use it as an assistance as we transition to the press. This is the most important part. Again, you can do multiple lanyards at one time. You can do different materials that are going to be, flimsy, such as satin, and it's going to be a nice tool to use. So now that I have my press open, the whole point of doing the sandwich method, the cardboard works great because it's just going to hold it in place, and then I'm going to do a quick flip, and then I'm just going to slide my cardboard out from underneath, take it off the top, and now I have my image on top, my lanyards underneath, so the heat is going to be applied to our transfer itself, and we're able to finish our sublimation. I'm going to hit this with the press for about 60 seconds, and then our lanyard should be complete. And that sound means we're done, so let's lift and swing away on our press. Move our transfer right away. Well, that looks cool. Give this a few seconds to cool, and we can complete the assembly of our lanyard. I went ahead and I already threaded through the little satin ends of my lanyard. You can tell that I left a little white space also, just kind of keeping in mind the design for my lanyard. Do a nice little snap, hold it together, and there's my finished product. Again, with the method that I used today, I left a blank space by the neck. You'll want to be able to come up with some creative ways for artwork or applying to your client's needs and making sure that you keep a nice fluid look. But this is just another way that you can press a lanyard using a smaller press rather than one of the larger one piece. And again, using the backer board method, which is going to create a nice even flip. For more tips, products, and services, be sure to visit our website at condi.com and watch more of my videos at conditv.com. I'm Brittany with Condi Systems, and thank you for joining us.